Alright, looks like we're live. Alright. So last time, cleared the intro area, as well as Forest of the Fallen Giants. But where art thou? Yeah, that'll work. Today, we're gonna do Known Man's Wharf, Lost Bastille, and dip into Huntsman's Copse. But before then, a tiny bit of stone farming. Okay, so we're gonna sacrifice one of our fragrant branches of yore. I mean, we're gonna have to use it here anyway, so we might as well. Hello, friend.
Have you business with me?
Yes.
The way yonder is all blocked up, you see, by this god-awful statue. Heavens above! Who thought it a good idea to put it there?
Our boy is
I'm in
asking the
quite
right
the pickle
questions.
See that statue? Cause hey,
Yeah, we got it.
you don't think a real...
Yes. Okay. So, I'm just gonna take care of these guys first. Do we have any fire? I guess we do. Okay. So what I'm thinking, so what happens is you blow those up, that's gonna attract all the distended gut people. It might also harm me a bit. YOLO. Yo, Saber, what's going on? Okay, mistakes were made. Run. Okay. the goal here is to unlock the basilisk here, because the basilisk here is perfect for farming most of the enchanting stones, just not all of them. And by most, I mean all of them except one. Because we want to turn our trident into a magic trident. Take your time.
Thank you. I've been petrified. Hard. Give me...
Alright. Wish
I'm
I could
fine.
offer her water.
I think... No. I'm fine. Really, I am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, the fire longsword, I've seen people dunking on the fire longsword, but if you're doing a magic build or basically any form of casting, it only benefits from it.
Oh. You're that traveler.
I am.
I still haven't thanked you. Well, I'm quite So...
Why, thank you.
I was attacked and turned to stone.
Yes.
I owe you my life. Oh. I hate to burden you further, as you've already saved my life. But do you have any clothing that... I'll take anything. Whatever you... Anything at all. Just put it on.
Alright, let's see what we can give her. Hollow helmet, of course. Hollow soldier outfit.
I have my very own teacher. His name is Carillion. I was fascinated by sorcery when he set out for Dranglet, but...
Yeah, the fire sword, just so many things are weak to fire early on.
I'm rather but oddly, what
It's
we're
worth it.
fascinating- Oh, it's hardly...
I hope you don't mind
Thank
me
you
skipping
so-
dialogue.
But perhaps...
This isn't a lore run, this is a do everything run. Yep, get that two-handed poke. Now, one thing that's really interesting, that's kind of fun about the early uses of the fragrant branches of yore, is that it is like there's an Estus shard near each one, which is pretty interesting. Like back at the intro area, and back at the path to the wharf, all of those give a what's it called? They give a shard. Not necessarily the 100% achievement as much as going for all of the NPC quests. I'm not going to focus too much on the Covenant stuff. But for now, we're going to farm this basilisk, and if I run out of basilisks to farm, we're going to go COC and keep farming him until we get that magic stone. Just doing it as a warm-up. It would be more efficient to be using the rusted coin, the golden serpent, the prisoner's tatters, but it's not worth it. Some people think the branch mechanic. I don't mind the branch mechanic at all, and I think just the fact that it's like, hey, you can go anywhere, but you have to choose. The only thing that kind of sucks is later in the game where there's like tons of petrified things, and you don't know which ones are the right ones to unpetrify. So it's kind of that's where it becomes kind of stressful. So I tend to save some of these things for later. But since we've got this path open, might as well do the rest of the Foggy Forest run to get the Chloranthy +1, as well as a few other things. Yeah, I think this Basilisk just does not want to drop. And I'm specifically wearing the Explorer hat with the monocle and the Dragon Shield to increase drop rate. I was actually thinking about doing this farming off stream, but I didn't want to do the unlocking off stream. See, being a bit tougher. Yeah, like I am of the opinion that Dark Souls 2 is extremely easy, with the caveat that you know where everyone is and how to fight them. But then again, at that point, you could say the same about any game. But it is extremely easy, even in a even with an NG run, if you know what the enemies are. All right, it looks like we have run out of those guys. I was playing with a different playthrough, and I managed to get lots of drops. He was just really stingy on this one. I really, since I am gonna main into magic, I really do want to get the magic infusion stone going. Now, a question for you: when you play DS2, do you do any summoning or letting yourself get summoned, or do you just go solo? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's either Magic Stone or Faint Stone, one of those two. The one that, because one of those adds intelligence scaling to physical damage, and the other one, it adds like the magic damage. Also, I got really lucky. I got the petrified something, and I was like in my head, like, I hope I get the Chandler's Trident. And I got the Chandler's Trident on the first try. So that was extremely lucky. Alright. I mean, I'm already in the area, might as well. Okay. Yeah, so I like to beat bosses solo, but the completionist in me is also like, you need to summon certain NPCs in order to do their quest, so I end up doing that. But I use the small soapstone a lot, not just so that I can get summoned into other people's worlds and help them out, because the small soapstone is like resting at a bonfire without resetting
Leave me
people.
be. I like it.
Yep.
You may.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You.
Mm-hmm. Good gesture.
I cannot. And I was born in. If I've been all ever knew. What a. I am great, but so. Why? Thank you. Here. Go along.
We're friends now.
As you. Safe travels then.
Peace, my brother. Alright, I'm not gonna worry too much about the other invisible things in the forest. We are just gonna go for the Chloranthe. I know that there's some other rings, like the one that makes you explode if you take a certain amount of damage. But I only care about this bad boy. Any stalkers? Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do them for playthrough number 1. So playthrough number 1 is basically me setting myself up for doing a no bonfire, no death run for NG+. And also just, like, it's two different purposes. Number 1, first run, be a completionist. Run number 2, be a... just do that challenge. So completely different goals. Alright. Yeah, I actually did the no bonfire, no death run once before on an NG+. And I got both of them, but they're on my other PC. Yeah, because to me it's all about preparation. Like the secret weapon for the no bonfire run is the Crown of the Iron King. Because it does, I want to say 20% spell restoration, rounded up, every 2 minutes. And if you have a healing spell and a repair spell plus a few offensive spells, you're good. Of course, I refer to it as the no bonfire scrub lord run. The other thing is, like, when you're doing the no bonfire, it is, you know, whatever spells you have, those are the ones you keep. So you have to take advantage of run number 1. Okay, so let us do the thing. We only have one fragrant branch of yore. And we are going to use it on this guy. We're going to fight him over here because it gives me a little bit more freedom. Yeah, I like either dark or mage build is very good for that kind of run. But because so many enemies are dark based, I feel that you're better off doing a what's it called? A magic build. Yeah, no, Santier's Spear is awesome. If you know the secret. Alright. So we're only gonna worry about the guys that can be a problem. The only thing with Santier's Spear is like the lack of scaling, but the fact that it basically lasts forever is once you have the true version, makes it kind of worth it. Especially like if you're doing magic and you have buffs on it, and I think you do add some scaling to it if you put an infusion on it. Yeah, no, dark is crazy, but I think magic is slept on because there's a lot of guys that aren't explicitly like strong against magic.
Look how far and a very fit undead you are. A bit too alive. And like it. Oh my, don't mind me. But if you find the need, the dark.
All right, old man, best friend. Ooh, maybe we should do the stone farming over here. I think we might be onto something. Poison, okay. Poison is good. Not everything is weak to poison, but poison is good. Alright. I mean, if you don't mind, we might do some stone farming here. Hello, naked bird lady.
Thank you for helping me.
You're welcome.
Onifex. I owe you some form of thanks. If it would not trouble you, could you visit my abode just down the way?
Just down the way.
Thank you. I believe that I can... Thank you. I believe...
Okay. And boom. We got our fragrant branch back. Alright, let's kill some basilisks again. These, because you might be right about the drop rate on that first one being abysmal. So, if I can just farm these guys without having to turn on the COC, I would rather do it that way. Yeah, so a lot of people like to use the rapier because obviously it's got them very quick pokey attacks, but the rapier kind of sucks against enemies you can't lock on. Oh, okay. Okay. Damn, this guy, he's tanky. Oh, I forgot about Lion Man. Now, I have tried to parry the lion guys, but I don't know if I suck at it or if I just... or if they just can't be parried. Obviously they can be backstabbed, but... Ow. Please stop. That's funny. Now, is it just me, or is the DS2 parry just... Like, the timing's a bit off. Like I found it to be a little bit harder to do than some of the parries in the other games. Like, I think the DS1 parries, they're kind of easy, but the problem with them is that, like, very few enemies can actually be parried in DS1. It's like, okay, maybe the soldiers and Gwyn, but, like, very few others. Faint Stone? Which one do I want? Okay, Faint Stone imbues equipment with magic. I'm wondering if that's the one I want. Because if it's the one that gives you, like, physical plus magic, that's the one I want. We can verify with our boy, the blacksmith. Yeah, absolutely. I think the Silver and Black Knights were put there specifically to kind of like a lesson. It's like, hey, parry these guys. Parry these guys and your life will be easier. If you don't parry them, your life will suck. Alright, let's see if the Faint Stone was the one we wanted.
I ought to fetch a new ember. Flame.
Clear flame. Okay. Faint Stone gives me the split damage. Yeah, Faint Stone was the one we wanted. Alright, the farming portion of the stream has concluded.
Flame.
Yeah, I think Lord Miyazaki knew what he was doing. Like, hey guys, parry them. He made us rely on the L1 shield for the longest time, but it was like, all right, that was just like when you're
Here,
when you're learning to ski,
however faint it might be.
and they teach you how to ski the wrong way, just so they can be like, all right, well, remember how you were doing the pizza and the wedge to stop? Well, that was actually wrong. You really should be keeping it parallel at all times. Okay, let us upgrade. Okay, and do we have... Okay, we can level up things. So, intelligence and vigor and attunement, because the attunement will also increase the agility. Yeah, you know, I'm glad we decided to push on and farm the basilisks down in the corrosive pit. That otherwise it would be like 20 minutes of me killing that one basilisk while in the COC, and I just don't need that kind of negativity in my life. Okay. Alright, let us travel. So one of the things we did over here at the Hyde's Tower of Flame was actually go after Ornstein first, and then take out the Dragon Rider, so I didn't have to deal with all of the Hyde Knights on the way to Ornstein, because that would have been a pain. Eventually, I might go back there and try to farm their armor, because the Hyde Knight armor set is sweet. But that is not a priority. This, like, I'm not trying to 100% like all the armors. Just the NPC quests. Alright, let's see how our new magic spear does. Alright, not bad. I don't know if these guys are particularly resistant to magic, but it went pretty well. The only problem with the Chandler's Trident is that it does have relatively low durability. Let's see, 40, whereas the sword has 60. And the other thing is, if you actually use the buff, that uses up durability instead of, you know, FP. Nice, we got some gauntlets. They make me fat roll, so we're not going to use them. But it's nice to have. More bone dust for the bone dust collection, which I keep safely tucked away in my bone dust pocket. Now, I'm going to use the branch of yore here. I think we should be fine. Okay, where is the dude? Get this out of the way early on. One of the things I find interesting about those particular guys is that I think the outfit they're wearing is the same one you start with. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the things betwixt one until we get to Harvest Valley. That's when I'll go back for that one. Because I'm trying to conserve them. I know that I should get another fragrant branch here. And there should be another one at the end of Lost Bastille. But I'm not gonna mess around with that too much just yet. Ooh. Player. Alright. Before we continue on, let's get the new shard installed as well as burn that dust. Oh hey. Were you bored?
Is that a shard you found?
Yes.
Here, let me see it. To see light, however faint it might be.
Alright, let's level up. We're not gonna touch the physical. We're gonna... I think I'm gonna take faith up to 20. I think that's the move. Just to make sure I can cast the big ol' heals. There she is, wistfully staring away while I warm myself debatably too close to the bonfire. Alright, No Man's Wharf. Should be a good time. I like to light up all of No Man's Wharf. Whoa. There we go. I don't use the chandelier. I don't think it's necessary. I love Majula. It's got the coastal vibes. It's got the chill music. It's one of the best, easily. Ooh, new leggings. And we shall continue. I want to say there's a thing up here. Out. Yeah, the long-armed boys. Basically, the ones inside of the house, the torch really doesn't matter. The ones outside, the torch kind of helps. But the thing is, you have to kill them quickly, otherwise the torch, they become desensitized to the torch. Might save this bad boy for later. Okay, we don't need the torch for this. Yeah, they turn into rage monsters. One thing, like, in case you missed from last time, that I was talking about it, in the previous one, since I did the Pursuer fight, and I also did a couple of Pursuer fights helping other people, I was able to go and basically just upgrade the heck out of my stuff to +6. And I'm pretty sure that No Man's Wharf would be a lot more difficult if I didn't upgrade my stuff to +6. So just a little side note there, that I am not playing to make myself to make it a challenge to myself. hey. Dog. Dog. I need to get the dog without harming our friend. Yeah, for whatever reason, they decided to make it so that immediately after the pursuer fight, you can get your weapon to +6. Provided that you can get it to +3 and you didn't waste all of the limited Titanite that that blacksmith number 1 sells. We're trying to keep him alive. You know, tricky, but we're trying.
I thought that might be you. You haven't changed a bit, have you?
Nope, still me.
The longer I am here, the more madness I discover. A wretched place indeed, but not without traces of its former glory.
Oh yeah. Why wouldn't you?
What could have caused such degradation? Ah, yes. I have not. This is for you. Of course.
And if you're willing to do the PvP, you do the Bell Covenant.
Our land
You can get
here
your
is
weapon to
surrounded by
+10.
enemies. There is only my family with 2.
By Bastille, by the end of Bastille, you can get your weapon to +10.
I was raised. Life was hard, but I never gave it a second thought. I had swift success on the battlefield, and then I came here. Have you heard of the undead?
Yes.
These poor souls affected by the curse. An undead gradually loses his humanity. Finally, he turns hollow, and a hollow can never be human again. One can skirt this wicked fate, assuming, I can only hope, that they are.
See, the reason why I didn't, like, burn through her dialogue
I'm sorry.
was because I wanted to see her
bearing the talk of
dramatic
my fate.
mask reveal.
I'm sorry. I suppose I've grown.
Absolutely. Like, to me, Lucatiel is DS2's Solaire. So, you know, mad respect to Lucatiel. The other guy, Bernhal, he's alright too, but no Lucatiel. Speaking of which, we have to talk to Bernhal. I didn't talk to him after unpetrifying our friend. One of the interesting things about DS2 is that it does limit your ability to lock on to how far you can see, which is pretty interesting. Rigid outskirts is a trip. I got distracted there. This guy almost hurt me. Poke. All right, we're gonna have to pop a crystal for that. Okay. I think if I go into the water, maybe I can wash away this tar. Yes. Okay. Otherwise, we would have had to wait for the tar. Rigid Outskirts, I understand why people hate it, because objectively, it is one of the worst places ever. It is a horrible place. But I kind of like it, because it is so horrible. It is such a once-in-a-playthrough challenge. Because if the entirety of Dark Souls 2 was Frigid Outskirts, no, I wouldn't play this game. Like, why would you? But the fact that it's just limited to that one area, to me, makes it interesting. Like, yeah, they were trying to do something different with Frigid Outskirts. Whether that was a success is debatable. But they were trying. One of the things I see a lot is, like, you'll see the, like, reels of, like, people talking about DS2 typical gameplay, and they'll show a guy running and having, like, 20 guys after him. And it's like, yeah, this is your typical experience if you run past everyone. But if you clear the areas, you only have to beat them once. Ooh, we got another longsword. Okay, I'm gonna pop a crystal, because those guys are a bit serious. Okay, does the two-hand strong stagger? It looks like it does. Okay, so we're better off with the two-hand strong. Also, you can't forget that the Frigid Outskirts was designed to be a multiplayer area, and I get it. Not everybody, like, once the game is older, you can't rely on, like, random people. But the reality is, it gives you NPCs specifically for that. Okay, we got the great sword. Okay, crossbow or poison? Alright. And our boy is still alive. This is who we're fighting for. Yeah, absolutely. You just play the game. Like, clear the enemies. The one that, I mean, I think the gank squad, the gank squad to me is just tedious. Whoa, whoa, no, they got me, they got me. Alright. I shouldn't have used the torch, I should have just stuck to, two-handing. Okay, so I'm gonna put my small summon sign there. And so instead of popping a humanity, I'm just gonna use that. If I get summoned, and we succeed, I get my humanity back. To me, Gank Squad is more insulting than Frigid Outskirts. I mean, was their goal to make a boss that mimics the most toxic of the Dark Souls players? Maybe? Yeah, I love DS2, but I also think it is not without its flaws. There's definitely a lot to criticize in DS2. But mechanics-wise, I think it was the first one to really take those steps that make that followed on in a lot of modern FromSoft titles. We are doing okay. Not great, but okay. We got 24 human effigies, so if I don't get summoned by the time I clear this area, I'm just gonna pop it so that I can summon Lucatiel for the fight. Great. This game really needs sneaky boots. Yes, the scimitar. Alright, we're being summoned. We can restore our stuff. I'm trying not to leave my summon sign too often. Hello. See, is actually a chest of armor pieces that make noise and alerts the enemies. That is kind of funny. I want to say that even in Elden Ring, like, your ability to sneak, it might be slightly influenced by your armor weight. Yeah, I'll have to check it out because that is pretty interesting. Kind of like Miyazaki letting us know, if you're a big guy, you ain't gonna be sneaky. It's keeping it nice and subtle. Alright. See, this is why I used the small summon soapstone. I don't have to spend the entire area. I can just go in, get my smooth and silky, get my humanity restored, have all my stuff repaired, restore my flask. You know, the list goes on. Look, I'm human again. Totally worth it. It's actually pretty diabolical the way they have the one guy throwing the oil pots and the other guy firing the fire. All right, we need the. One thing that's interesting about those guys, also the spiders, like the spiders over in Seldora. Well, it's kind of interesting the way that. All right, we are not going to mess around this time. We're going to have our sword. The spiders, as well as those guys, drop like the most random stuff. The spiders especially. The spiders can drop like swords. I think you can get the Zweihander from them, or the Claymore. I don't know. Whoa, this guy's gonna blender me. All right, we did it. We survived. Yeah, these particular guys are. You know what? If you think about it, the fire, the oil pot, and that is a way the game teaches you this is how oil pots work. If you get hit and then you play with fire, it's like if you were doused in gasoline. So maybe they were trying to teach us a lesson the whole time. Okay. Fire arrow. So these guys, yeah, they lose the resistance. They get resistance to the fire pretty quick. Oh, another longsword. Okay. Bye. Okay, we got the ninja set. Oh yeah, absolutely. Very much intentional. We're just gonna leave him hanging out. We got the ninja. Alright, we're gonna unlock shortcut number 1. There's also a thing here we're gonna check out. Fire bombs, nice. I hear somebody drinking. Always a good sign. Yo, my dude.
Who are you? I, Gavlan. Gavlan will, Gavlan deal. Gavlan wants soul. What? With Gavlan?
Alright. I think just interacting with him is enough to get him to move, but I make it a point to buy something from him. I could use a beer right now. Alright, sometimes the guys here mess me up, so just gonna let him come out. I'm finding that you're better off just letting them hit your shield and then responding instead of getting blendered. Yes, do it. Now, would you go for like all of the worm items, like weapons, or would you go Gablan style with poison? Nice. That is a good name. I'm gonna try to get this guy over here so I don't accidentally wake up his friends. So one good thing, like the Germ Shield is amazing against fire. I once used the Germ Shield for the Fire Demon. What's his face? The guy in the Iron Smelter Demon. So I used the Germ Shield against Smelter Demon, and it just trivialized the fight. Alright, let us... The Germ pants are pretty funny. Ninja! Yeah, that thing is amazing. Alright. So this is one of my big tips. One of my big tips for DS2. Have a whip. Doesn't matter if you have the stats for it or not. It's completely irrelevant. Just have a whip. So, even if you don't have the stats for the whip, you can do that. Didn't have to waste anything to break those pots. There we go. We got our branch of yore back. Oh yeah. The gutter and the other place, the Black Gulch. And the beauty of it is, like, yeah, you don't need to meet the stats for it. In fact, not only do you not need to meet the stats for, yes, that one too. Not only do you not need to meet the stats for the whip, it doesn't even have to be like intact. It can be a broken whip. All right, we don't need the whip right now anymore. But yeah, you could use a broken whip and it would still work. Gave him the good old 1, 2, 3. heavy boots. I wonder what the game is trying to tell us. Because the heavy boots, were those like part of the Pyromancer set in DS1? I want to say maybe. Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you get it. Like, a lot of people just don't realize the utility of it.
I sense power. Very well. I am Carillion. Now,
We have our teacher. We can actually, let's see, we can't do Great Soul Arrows just yet, but we can do Heavies, which are an upgrade. And Urine is pretty good. Let's see if we can get 19 intelligence by the time we make it to Huntsman's Copse. Alright, so we unlocked the shortcut. Our weapons are okay. The spear is full. The sword is halfway, but I'm sure that's fine because we have the spear. Yeah, I'm trying to kind of clear the path before I get Lucatiel. Well, you know, I think the tree itself gives you a whip. Isn't there like a notched whip by the tree that's already like slightly leveled up, just for its pleasure? DS2 has very odd mechanics, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't think I need a torch up here. Alright, let's get our girl Lucatiel in here. I think we're safe. No distractions. Got our spear. We got our Lucatiel. Can we use this? 9. We started with a basic spear from Lengrass. Yeah, no, spears are pretty good. Like, I've noticed that I sleep on a lot of the long weapons, like spears and halberds, and they're really good. I mean, obviously everybody knows about the Black Knight's halberd in DS1. Okay, we're gonna change this for the Leo ring. See if we can get some of that counter thrust damage. Now, Lucatiel is just tanking him. Thanks, Lucatiel. Very cool. Yeah, spears weren't meant to be bonking weapons, so it's kind of strange that some of them have, like, weird sweeping bonking attacks. I am a pirate king, hurrah, he is a pirate king. It is a glorious thing to be a pirate king. Thanks, boat. Alright. For the sake of being a bit of a completionist, not to show a secret. Alright, do we still have a fragrant branch? Yes, we do. Okay. That means we can do the ruined sentinels. Needed to make sure I had at least one branch on me. Scimitar and repair powder. Alright, let's see. Okay, we'll use the short bow plus the fire arrows, if necessary. Okay, did we have anything in here? Nice. Alright. I hope you have an excellent day of work. Alright. So, we'll have to do this radio style. We're coming up to the area where there's a pursuer, which is always a good time. Gotta get a rest in. I got 30k, I might as well travel back to Majula, get my stuff fixed. And by stuff fixed, I actually mean level my stuff up.
Bearer of the curse.
Yes.
Seek so.
Yes.
Seek the lest this.
Okay, so I'm pumping 4 points into intelligence, 1 into vigor, 1 into attunement. Because both the fire sword and the spear are going to benefit from the intelligence. And we've got a second slot now. So, you know, pretty good. Yeah, I'm not gonna, you know, don't work too hard. Work sufficiently enough. I think you should be good. Yeah, hopefully we don't get any forlorn invasions. Ow. Okay, let's see. I think for this guy, I'll use the crossbow. Ow. Okay. We got the guys on the platforms and some dogs. I believe that I can take out some of that if I hit the barrels with a fire arrow. It's a few less dogs to worry about. That guy's still there. But it could be worse. Okay, we jump down the broken wall. Soul of a warrior, human effigy. I didn't know about that for the longest time. I'm gonna try to take that guy out before we summon the pursuer. Because even though this pursuer summons exactly where I'm standing, he doesn't summon until I am on my way out. Oh. I was there not firing, it's because I ran out of bolts. I really should invest in those. Okay, we got some iron arrows. Alright. That guy's gone. I think there's a dog over there, but I don't think I have to worry about him. So we can go pursuer mode. My stamina regen. Alright. Pursuer down. I'm not gonna break that wall down just yet. but soon. Okay, dogs down. The dogs dropped a human effigy. So that made me wonder, are they using the dogs the way they used the rats in DS1? Because the DS1 rats would drop a humanity. And like part of the explanation behind that was because the rats eat the corpses. So the fact that the dogs drop an effigy makes me wonder if the reasoning is the same. Well, Pyromancer took himself out. Okay, let us equip Firebomb. Yes, dogs also drop Soul of the Lost Undead, so it does make me wonder if they are doing like a it ate the corpses, that's why it drops those things type of deal. Last time I was here, I did not fight the Pursuer. I just went in, spawned him in, went back into the building, naturally spawned him out. Ow. When he does that weird Orby burst attack, just run behind him. And he'll miss for the most part, as long as you're not too close. Okay, I'm gonna leave my summon sign here. And hopefully can get summoned before the ruined sentinels. I can get my stuff fixed. And also my Estus restored. Alright. That's a few Royal Guardsmen down, but my spear is almost broken. Durability in DS2 really sucks. Alright, now to go downstairs. Because there's a door. A very shifty, sketchy door that is theoretically a shortcut. I am okay. I've got decent durability on the fire longsword. Spear looks to be at 40%. I'm not going to delay it too long. If we don't get summoned within the next couple of minutes, I'm just going to YOLO it in there. But in the meantime, I'm going to run down to the bonfire and grab a torch just so that I can light this place up. Place always looks nicer when it's lit up. Sometimes I wonder what the Dark Souls series would have been like if they had included like a day-night cycle. Would have been interesting seeing how the world changes. I mean, Bloodborne kinda does it, but it's not like a natural one, it's a story progressed one. It would have been interesting to see just like, oh, this is Undead Burg at night. Even creepier. And the guys are more stabby. Okay, actually, let's see. I have 22k. We are gonna go back to Majula. Because I want to buy the cat ring from the cat. Just because the Ruined Sentinel fight has that drop. And it sucks when you fall and you're half health. And you have to choose between healing yourself or avoiding an attack. I also want to see if I can get that shortcut without botching it.
Oh, undead are we?
Yes.
And one without much time remaining. Just about ready to fall apart, I'd say.
Hmm.
Not exactly the time to be chatting with a cat. Well, oh yes. So, what did you want anyway? Ooh, you smell wonderful.
Alright, cat ring. Excellent. And while we're at it, we can afford the... Okay, we can afford the Ring of the Evil Eye, but the question becomes, do we want to? Because there is a better...
I'll be around.
Thanks, Shalquar. There is a better Ring of the Evil Eye down in the pit. So, it's almost not worth it. Especially if I jump into the pit right now. No, I'm not going to do that. But I could. Hey.
Is that a shard you found?
Yes.
Here, to see light, however faint.
And since we're in the area, I'm gonna run over to where Bernhard is and just let him know that, yes, we're gonna let him know that the statue moved. It's amazing that even though she talks like a human, she is very much a cat. Or at least behaves exactly the way you would expect a cat to behave.
What? Clearing the way was your doing, was it?
Yes.
Didn't think you had it in you, pal. No. That's no like. Name's Benhat. If we share, I'll repay the road ahead's good. Aye, it's a true man. I swear it. Aye, it's a true. I swear it.
Pardon the term, but cats are 100% tsundere. They are like, well, I'll stay in the same room as you and sit on your lap, but it's not like I like you or anything.
Bearer of the seek the lest.
Yes, seek lust. We'll go with vigor. Alright, so this part is gonna be a little bit sketchy, but we ball. We're gonna use the cat ring.
Bearer of the
No.
seek the king, lest this.
Not you, I'm trying to rest at the bonfire. We're gonna try to use that shortcut. We use that term loosely here, because there's a good chance I'm gonna fall to my death. Alright, we're gonna use a two-handed poke on this guy, because it seems to stagger him. Poke. 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 Oh, that sucked. Alright. No. Let's do a roll. Nope, that didn't work. We'll do a run. Maybe a run will work. I can guarantee you this, when I do the no death, no bonfire run, I am not trying that shortcut. Alright. Take two. Take two. I think we're just gonna try a run. There we go. I've got my cat ring. Got some chip health, but that'll be fine. I'm not gonna summon Belclair. So we ballin'. Yeah, it's not worth it. Alright, we got one of them down. I know the strategy is to try to fight them up here as much as possible, but I'm only going to do that with the first one, after which I'm going to drop down. Because dealing with two of them up here is not worth it. And that's why we use the cat ring. Just so that I can drop down without any issues. Okay, I'm glad this guy got rid of his shield. Makes him easier to kill. Kind of a superhero landing there. Ah, I mistimed that. Two for one. When I do the no death run, I 100% will be using any summon available. It isn't a no death and be a and be a hard ass. It's, please, I don't want to die. I suppose I'm being extra careful because I don't want to. This fight can be pretty tedious, but if you do it right, you only have to do it once. Woo! Right. Alright, just checking. Yeah. Use every single tool the game gives you, why not? Target shield, okay. Beautiful. Right. I don't know how I would have been able to do the Ruined Sentinel fight without the shield. Yeah, I think so. I think if you're not using every tool they give you, you are you know, just kneecapping yourself. You only have yourself to blame. Now, to be fair, for a new person, they might not understand all the mechanics, but eventually, if you play it again, there's really no excuse. We got our rouge water. Alright. Dark Pursuer time. It's kind of, the do it right, do it once is kind of like in shooting where they say slow is fast. Because if you take your time and clear the area, then you end up doing it only the one time. Maybe you did it slowly, but wow, that everything went wrong there. There he goes, pooping out another twinkling titanite for us. Do I have any ferrous lockstones? Yo, what's going on, Chronic? Are you back to work? I am gonna go back to Majula because we've got 52k and I don't want to lose it right now. We're just gonna put it into levels immediately. That explains why I haven't seen you online that often.
Bearer of seek the lest this.
It was a good run while it lasted. You did a lot of good progress. Okay. Alright, so we're taking Vigor up 2 points, Endurance up 2 points, Vitality up 2 points, and Attunement up 2 points. That should help us out in the long run. Intelligence is still at 17, so next few level ups we'll be able to put it there. Alright, so we're gonna head back over there. I'm not gonna spend too much time here because this is kind of like a PvP zone, but if we can get into a couple of fights, that's fine. So we can get the sword to +7 as well. Well, you know, I'm glad that you're that you're awake and you're able to see. For DS2, we've been doing pretty good. This is the second stream, and already in the first one, we managed to get a sword and a spear to +6 and 7.
The bell. Stay back. Hello. To guard this bell, stay away, foul. Stay back. You wish for the free.
Bellkeeper time, hell yeah.
When you're rat, when the bell. Slice him to me.
Alright, we are in the PvP zone. That. Yeah, I really like DS2. It gets crapped on a lot by people, but you know, it's a good time. Yeah, the Bell Covenant is pretty nutty, and I like that they did that. Because it's funny because you see the Gurms and you're thinking, oh, are those the dwarves? And it's like, nope, it's these guys. All right. Let's see how we do. Alaric. He rang the bell, so he's coming back. Ah. Damn, so close. Good bout, good bout. Oh, damn. Already. That's what you get for not bowing. You know, I was perfectly happy to just let her go, kill this guy, and then have a one-on-one. But no, immediate aggro. Some people. But you notice I did get a chunk. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted one chunk. Ow. I respect the duel. Okay, we got a Bellkeeper bow. Got some other goodies. The gate is open. Oh, another invasion. Awesome. Joey 2, or Joey the sequel, as some people know him. Okay, he's still somewhere down below. Don't need that. Let's go with the cat ring. So Joey 2 is probably camping out there. That was kind of dirty on my part. I don't know what to say. He was wide open. Okay, we've got 7 flasks again, so it does look like, even though the invasions don't restore my humanity, they do restore my flask and durability. So, even though I did say that I was only going to summon for NPC quests, the reality is this gargoyle fight is kind of a pain in the butt, because they were like, oh, Dark Souls 2, let's do Dark Souls 1, but more of it. Okay, let us swap that out, and we'll pop I'm gonna pop an effigy and summon this dude. because the gargoyle fight is just a pain in the butt because there's so many of them. I certainly hope he knows how to find his way up here. Hell, you want DS1? We have DS1 at home. You know what? At least they had the decency of using the same gargoyle music to let us know who they were copying. Ow, ow, no, ow. Drink the sippy. Franco's doing alright. Whew. So, fun fact for those of you who did not play the original Dark Souls 2, the key that you use to light up the fight at the end was you actually got it from here instead of where they put it now. If you wanted to light up the Lost Sinners boss fight arena, you actually needed to do the Bell Covenant. Well, not the Covenant, but you had to beat those guys. Nah. Get wrecked, son. That was an NPC. If it had been a real player, wouldn't have been that easy. I do like that one of the things you get there is a dragon tooth, which means you can get 2 dragon teeth per playthrough. So if you wanted to double wield the Havel weapons, you could. So, okay, so I just picked up an enchanted falchion, and one of the key differences between the magic weapons and the enchanted weapons, the magic weapons, you can see it has split damage between magic and physical. whereas the enchanted only has physical. But if you look down at the scaling, you can see that it has intelligence scaling. We're gonna try a couple more PvP fights, just to see if we can get one more chunk. Now, this is a little scummy, but you don't have to go into the bell area if you don't want to get invaded. You can just wait over here. I mean, I don't think you even have to come down here. You can just see, as long as the bell icon is pulsing, there's a chance you're gonna get summoned in. So as long as that, you don't even have to leave the bonfire. You can stay right here. So we need 2 chunks. Oh, sorry, we need 1 chunk to get the sword to +7. And we need 2 chunks to get one of the weapons to +8. And I'm gonna do the spear to +8. But that is so we just need 1 more chunk. But that is as much as I want to do. I could stay here indefinitely until I get both weapons to either +9 or +10. Because I think Titanite Slab is one of the rewards once you rank up a certain amount. But I don't need to do that. We're gonna get chunks later. There's enemies over in the Black Gulch that drop chunks, and we're plenty strong enough. But this is kind of an excuse to do a little bit of the good old PvP. Though it's got me wondering, do I have to be closer? Because even though it's pulsing, I'm not getting summoned. Whereas I know that if I hang out over here, I have gotten summoned before. Alright, excellent. World of Favorito. Like he's carrying a torch? GG's. Alright, we got our chunk. We're good. Okay, let's remove the ring before we get summoned again. Go to our favorite blacksmith? It's like they're both trying to be the guy from DS1 but failing at it.
I ought to fetch a new ember.
I already gave you one. Alright, we will reinforce the sword. And our spear.
Flame. Dear flame.
Alright, that was enough of a distraction. On to the Lost Sinner. I'm gonna try to break this door. Reason being, it makes grabbing this item a lot easier. I certainly hope there's nobody trying to be pulling a sneaky one on me. Bastille key. I accidentally buffed myself because of the strong attack, but that's fine. It did take out a huge chunk of the durability. I think that's one of the reasons why the spear has such low durability. It's because we don't want somebody to just be endlessly buffing themselves with it. Now, to be fair, when I do the New Game Plus, I might not even use that spear because its durability is so low. Gee. I certainly hope there aren't more secrets. Sorry for the dry sarcasm. I love the repair spell, and I think a lot of people sleep on it, honestly. It is such a useful spell in DS2. Almost as good as having a backup weapon. That's the other thing. In DS2, don't do just the one weapon. Have a backup, because you're gonna need the backup. Alright, I'll do the jump. Yeah, of the DLCs, even though it's, you know, debatably one of the harder ones, I am gonna do the Iron King DLC first, just to get the crown. Whew! +8 really chunks them. Okay, we're gonna... So I forgot to do a thing, but we're gonna get it. I forgot to grab a ring by a guy close to where the pursuer was because we did the shield jump. But it's okay. It's all part of the plan. Hello, Suzanne. Welcome aboard. We are exhaustively going through the Lost Bastille. Because if you do it once, you don't have to do it again. Doing well, doing well. So yeah, Urn is the reason I bought Urn, but we gotta get Daggett. We gotta get the intel up to 19 to use Urn, but it is going to make the skeleton fight a joke. Alright, we didn't take too much durability damage from that guy, so that is okay. Just pop in here, maybe not. So at some point, I'm gonna have to take a break just so that I can put some frozen steak to defrost. As well as I'm gonna bake a cake later today. An excellent, excellent recipe, orange rum cake. So that is at the back of my mind. You know, you could say quite a few places in DS2 are horrible, so... You know. It is not the worst. Alright, we've got our fire. The Archdrake robes and the Archdrake shield. The Archdrake shield also does like stamina restoration, but its defense is kind of not great compared to the actual the official stamina shield. But you know, if you're not using a shield at all, you can just put it. You know, you can two-hand your weapon, put it on your back, and you'll be fine. Alright. Yes, I plan on making cake later. the signature cake in my family is orange rum cake, which is delicious. So the recipe is yellow cake. Like we're going with the super moist yellow cake, and part of the batter is going to have I want to say a third cup of rum, but it's otherwise like regular yellow cake. And then we bake it in a bundt pan, and afterwards we use orange peel mixed with sugar and more rum, and we pour it on top of it, and that makes kind of like the glaze. It is freaking delicious. Ooh, we have, I think we used our last Pharaoh's Lockstone, but the item in here is is the soul vessel, and we don't really need it. So we're not going to worry about it. I don't see myself respecking very much at all with this character. Okay, are we... Yeah, we're still wearing the cat ring. Yes, it is amazing. So, since I use the shield for actual shielding, I prefer one that has a decent amount of defense on it. I'm also wearing the ring for some slight HP regen. So it works out, like if we get a little bit of chip damage, it's gonna be fine. All right, let's see. I think, yeah, we don't have any fragrant branches of yore at the moment. So we'll have to come back to him later. Well, the cake itself is it's like a family recipe, so I wouldn't be surprised that but it's not like a secret family recipe. Like, I can 100% drop the recipe. So I'm originally from Puerto Rico, and as you can imagine, there's a lot of rum in Puerto Rico. Now, the original recipe calls for white rum, but I actually have started using spiced rum. An example of spiced rum would be Captain Morgan, but I prefer something a little bit smoother, a little bit more vanilla. So if you're a bit of a rum connoisseur, one of my favorite, like, not fancy but kind of fancy rums is Sailor Jerry. That's a very good spiced rum that it mixes so well with soda that it's dangerous. Alright. You know, I was gonna rest, but then I remembered we have to go get the thing. So let's go get the thing. And by thing, I am talking about that thing. over there, down to the right. Okay. We actually cleared this area before. This is the same, like, I haven't died since I opened this door. This is still the same continuous run. That's the one. So that will help with our durability. There's a better version of that ring that we can get later, but we're gonna use this one for now to help. And since we did pop that bonfire, why walk? Let's take a fire with us. Look, I got the name Pirate in my YouTube channel. I need to know something about rum. Well, I grew up speaking English my entire life. I actually had a stronger accent back in my 20s. But I spent some time moving all through the States, working in the Coast Guard. I even worked at Disney once. So, you know, it's been a good time. But as far as Spain goes, like my grandfather was literally Spanish, like from Spain. So we got that going. You know what I just realized? I traveled to the bonfire, but I didn't rest. So my fire sword is still nearly broken. Let's pop that there. Yeah, if there is a good spot over at the Wugs Discord, either that or you know, if I forget, just drop a comment on the video and I will definitely put the recipe. It is, so that cake basically spoiled all other cakes for me when I was growing up, because like you get like those sheet cakes and it's like, what is this? What is this garbage? All right. Since we did light up that sconce downstairs, we can actually fight with both hands. Ow. I have done many things. It's been interesting. Okay, you know, I'm kind of kicking myself. I should have bought more poison arrows when we had the chance. From Gavlan. We'll have to try to fill up later. It is 100% my intention to just cheese this guy. Soul arrows are free. I'm not going to use any magic against Lost Sinner. Look, if they didn't want me to cheese this guy, they wouldn't have made this door too small for him. This is just science. Oh, I'm out. I will have to check that one out. Absolutely. Alright, so the Blossom Kite Shield. That one, like, it's still, you know, 75%, which, not great compared to 90% physical, but actually, you know, I was thinking about the other Archdrake Shield, because the Archdrake Shield that they carry when you go to, oh, what's the name of that place? The Amana place. That, the one they dropped there, that's the one that does stamina. Alright. We're just gonna do a little bit of collecting. Northern Ritual Band, very nice. Bleed Stone, very nice. Let us... So as a fun aside, I have another stream that I'm doing which is just me playing Minecraft, but it's just kind of like a comfort game where you can just chill and stuff. But like currently I am an engineer. That is my profession. So inevitably I end up doing like engineer things. Yeah. We drop in the lore. I hardly use the stamina shields. I prefer having shields that protect me. That's why, like, if you have decent stamina management or just the Chloranthy +1 ring, you're gonna be good. So we cleared out this area. There's still guys upstairs, but the ones downstairs are the ones that are going to ambush you if you open that. I don't know if the one up there is going to jump down, but I'm not going to think too hard on it. Yeah. The +1 Chloranthy can just carry you. Okay, let us do a quick thing. I wanted to preserve my ability to dodge, but I did light this for a reason. So after I got out of the Coast Guard, I used the GI Bill and got into electrical engineering. And at my current line of work, my title is officially software engineer, but we do a lot of, it's like a lot of embedded stuff. So it's, you actually have to know the hardware in order to do the software. Okay. Bastille key. So we use that fire to light that other fire. Lucatiel. Have you seen this guy? Oh. I think Lucatiel's stuck. Lucatiel is not much of a climber. So, like, I went into electrical engineering, but focusing on control systems. So some of that stuff is stuff that I bring, like when I do like some of my Minecraft projects. I had that. Whoa, Lucatiel, what are you doing? Oh my, who could have seen that coming? Oh no. Alright, hide spear. How good is it? It has 60 durability, which is nice. So we might... that might be a backup. She's like... Lucatiel absolutely refuses. She's no. I mean, maybe I knew she was gonna attack him because Lucatiel is just hostile as all hell. But we're okay with that. We ball. Lucatiel does not give a... Smooth and silky. And if I recall correctly, I think you can't... yeah, you can light your torch there. Alright, Lucatiel. Do you... are you okay with Lucy? No. Okay, Lucatiel, we are gonna go in there. And we're gonna wreck some shit. Okay, I do believe I have the silver serpent ring still equipped. Lucatiel be flirty like that. Okay, so we had the tiny chaos bug going into the eyes. Doing some decent damage with the spear. Go. Alright, that was my bad. That was my bad. You know, I really should have buffed us up. Like, I forget that the spear is also a buff. Okay, that was an interesting move. I feel that one of the differences in Dark Souls 2 to one of the differences in Dark Souls 2 to the other Souls games is that Dark Souls 2 very much the level is part of the journey, and the boss is just like the cap. Whereas in some of the other ones, like the boss itself is a mountain. So like in Elden Ring, the bosses there are absolutely their own thing, which is why you have the Stake of Marika that lets you like spawn right next to the boss door. Whereas here, the level is all part of it. Okay, we got an Elizabeth mushroom and a branch of yore. We are back up. You know, that was a pretty successful Lost Bastille run. Yeah, their DS3 has a huge emphasis on just like do boss things. Alright, nothing to burn that I want to burn.
You have acquired the soul of an old one.
Yes.
That is more than most undead can say.
Yes. Okay, I don't think we have any Estus Flask shards. We just have a shitload of levels. So we're gonna do something about that. First off, let's get intelligence all the way up to an even 20, which is gonna help us cast some more stuff. Okay, we've got unlocked another attunement slot. We can get our faith up as well. Just a little bit of strength and dex, and we're gonna leave that ability alone. Just to prove a point, I guess. Oh,
Bearer, seek, lest the...
Yes, she is a lady. Okay, yeah, we'll go to an even 80. Hey, Lucatiel. You got the spear buff. Alright. I think we have a pretty good setup going.
Oh, I'd given you up for dead.
Let us just grab a crap load of arrows. I'll show myself out. Yeah. I read that out as soon as you said it. That'll give you a good idea of how much stream lag there is. Okay, so we have 31 puny soul arrows. We can use 21 heavies. Hush is nice, but we want Yearn. I don't remember when I got some of these other ones. Alright, let's see, does he have ball control? Or am I asking for too much?
Oh, so you finally decided to join us.
Why are you referring to yourself in first person plural? Okay, does he I don't think he has fall control, but he does have that buff, which is actually quite good.
One day might teach.
Alright, let us pop some souls. Alright, yeah, that'll do.
Back already?
Yes.
The path is yet.
Yes. Now, since I don't do the pew-pew that often, we are gonna sub in weapon buff. And eventually we're going to get a better staff, and I'm actually going to level it up. But until then, I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. Huntsman's Cops. This is as far as I've gotten into Huntsman's Cops. I haven't talked to this guy.
The dark stirs. I see it. The dark is sparked within you.
Yes.
My name is Falcon. I will trade with you. What do you need?
Fun fact. When they notice the dark growing within you, that's your intelligence and faith both going up. What's interesting is that both dark and fire scale up from intelligence and faith. The fire levels up from the sum of intelligence and faith, and dark levels up from whichever one is the lowest of the two. So if you keep them even, it scales up like normally. And I think that like that is an intentional duality. Okay, let's grab the dark orb, because the dark orb is pretty freaking awesome. Chaos Rapier is nice, but we are specifically not doing a rapier thing.
As you like.
We already have our two pokey weapons, which is the trident and the strong attack on the sword. Oh, I am surprised he survived that. It's almost like, to me, it's like it's showing a duality. Like you need light to cast shadow. So the dark, unless you scale them both evenly, fire will always be stronger than dark. I could just be pulling that completely out of my ass though, so you know, don't quote. That is not what I meant to do. You know, maybe those guys are just like really freaking resistant. So another thing that I really like in DS2 that they took, that only exists in DS2, is the fact that you can buff weapons to have infusions. So normally you can't buff like something like a fire sword. But you can, not only that, you can add infusions to boss weapons in DS2. DS2 really did not give a. DS2 made a lot of interesting choices, and some of them I like. Yeah, I really do think that that the leveling on fire and dark was an intentional choice. Okay, we are going to... I'm not that worried about levels, so we're just going to switch to the cat ring. Now, one thing that is interesting is the fact that you have both faith and intelligence for the dark. And to me, that's kind of like the whole, like, dark knowledge type thing, where having certain knowledge, like cursed knowledge, because you both believe in the gods, but you know there's something else. Alright, so we're going to try to make this jump. The secret to this jump is to just run. No jumping. Just run. Oh, I should have done the plunge. That's fine. Because if you end it with a plunge, you stop. We'll have to try that again. I talk up getting that thing and I mess it up. My god, I'll never live it down. Yeah, the plunging attack does work. The problem is that it's possible to overshoot it. Okay. Can we make that jump? Yes, we can. Awabunga. No, I was doing a different character, just an experiment, where I put poison infusion on Ricard's rapier, because it does the really quick stabby stab. And it was interesting. But ultimately, I decided it was kind of shit. So I didn't go with that. Though poison in DS2 is amazing, because it's actually good. So, as far as lore in these games, I know most of the lore, but I'm more of a mechanics guy. So if you want to discuss like how something works, I am there. Come on, Pitman. Yeah. I've been there. Like, I remember those times where it was like, ooh, Vatty just put down a new video. But I don't get too worried about that anymore. Okay. You know what this place needs? More natural light. Look at that. That's much better. Nah, he's all right, but I do think he is overrated, and to an extent, he's okay. I don't trust that what he's gonna say anymore. I don't trust that what he's gonna say is the truth necessarily. It's his interpretation. All right, so this time we're gonna aim there. Just a slight clench. Was it worth it? Having to go all the way back again? I don't know. We got these guys. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Because it feels that Vadi puts way too much speculation into some of his videos. Now, this might just be a me thing, but like the whole Prepare to Cry title seems a little bit presumptuous. Like, I don't know, I listen to them because they're interesting, not because I automatically assume I'm going to be depressed. Though, that might just be me and having relatability issues. Okay. You know, I did that thing again where I fast travel and I forget to rest. But we ball. It's fine. Alright. We got some bugs up there. No? Okay, never mind. So, a weird thing about Dark Souls 2 is that the trigger finger for the bow is dependent on which hand it's equipped to. Which makes sense in real life, but it confuses me sometimes. Okay, we got our boy, Bashful Ray. He's a good fella. We got this guy. I kind of wish I had that hush spell now. Well, you know, I have this thing where it's like, oh, crying's unpleasant. I'd rather not. But I found that as I've gotten older, certain things hit in the feels more than they used to. And this spear is really rocking their shit. I just saw your well done, thank you. I'm assuming that well done was for the Forlorn fight. Because Forlorn can be a real jerk. Nice. Okay. Soul Spear. Soul Spear is very good. But I don't think we can use it yet. Requires 40 intelligence. Pokey Stick is king of weapons. Alright. Question for you guys. Should we do the chariot or the skeletons first? So do we want skeletons or chariot? Though to be fair, there are a lot of skeletons in the chariot fight. Just not as many. This is like Skeleton Town. Or Bone Zone, if you will. Damn, I suck at that parry. Alright, so I see chariots. Chariots it is. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop a small sign. You know, I only consider it to be a gimmick fight if it's... How to put it? Like, it makes sense in the context of things, the chariot fight. Like, it only feels like a gimmick fight if you subscribe to, like, this is a meta and this is subverting the meta, but you know, it's all right. Now hopefully I get summoned at some point and we can use that to fix our stuff. Notched whip. So. Yeah, I believe so, yes. Bone Zone is the official name. And just proceed very carefully. So much for proceeding very carefully. Take 2. Okay, we don't need the cat ring, so we'll go with the stone ring, and that should help with stunning them. So just bit by bit. Trust me, it's better to do it this way than to run through and then deal with these guys plus the red guy on top. I'll just take an Estus. That's fine, we've got 6 more. So I'm intentionally using the spear because I'm planning on using the sword for the chariot fight. Simply because the strike attacks from the sword are probably a bit better against the bones. Now, this next part, I might die because he's a big dude with a big sword. And I'm not. Oh, he has a lot of health. He did not stagger at all. Help! 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 Yeah, you better walk away. Punk. I don't know anything about that DS1 mod, but it sounds interesting. Okay. The hollows that are hanging onto the bridge, it kind of reminds me, what was that Indiana Jones movie, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, where those natives were just waiting in the walls to do an ambush? Like, were you here the whole time? Was that part of the plan? Alright, I'm not going to worry about that yet, because I have died many a times jumping back. And now is not the time for that. Okay, we've got plenty of fire sword. We got a few magic weapon buffs. Let's do this. No, he's a... I don't know if... I think he's an NPC. He's not an invader. He just looks like an invader. I believe the term in DS2 for the red guys that aren't invaders is phantom. There he is. There's our boy. Okay. Now we don't want to stick to the same location too long, because then he will start to like hit you. Nope. Now this is one of the few places in Dark Souls 2 that I think it's okay to run. Okay, he should have cleared out the skeletons. Okay, to do something? Going all in! Yes. So that's the same mod where you NPC can kill you, steal the right of kindling from you, and take the elevator up the fair lady standing. That is an interesting mod. I should look into that. That sounds pretty good. Well, we did it. We got the chariot. Now, it is possible to actually defeat the chariot by, like, hitting it enough times, and eventually it'll just not make that last jump. And you can go over there and give it a kill shot. But, that is the slightly harder way of doing it, but it is pretty rewarding. Though, actually doing that damage is tricky. When I was doing the DS1 run here, I went into the Tomb of the Giants before unlocking Warp, because I wanted the big divine ember, and just fighting my way out took me like 10 tries because of, well, pitch black, the giant skeletons, that whole thing. Let us try to do the jump. Okay, like I said, I have died enough times there that I'm not even gonna worry about that one. I'm just gonna peace out. Okay. 45k. It's the large divine ember is a suicide run. You have to accept that you're not gonna survive out of there. I mean, you can if you very tediously oh, there's nothing wrong with that. If it works, it works. Poison mist all day. But yeah, the large divine is just like, they knew what was up. So the for the Bone Zone fight number 2, I am gonna summon Kraken simply because it's such a rare summon, you know? Kinda like to collect those moments. Okay, so I did lower the bridge last time, which means that the ambush boys are ambushy. Shield poke strategy for the win. Yeah, it's such a rare summon that I'm just thinking I might as well. I use up the crystals knowing that I should probably be using the Estus because the Estus refills, but... Trying to get the parry, but she's kicking my ass. Alright, I should stop messing around. Just fight her. Priestess gloves. Nice. For sure. So, I think the important question, are you Team Creighton or Team Pate? Lamberge. Let us... Okay, double ambush. Okay, I will say that Creighton's armor is objectively cooler than Pate's. I agree with that. But I personally am Team Pate, even though I think that Creighton's armor is better. And the reason is because Creighton tries to kill you in Dark Souls 3, and also he's Creighton the murderer. It's just that simple. It's like, I mean, Pate is a scumbag, but Creighton is the actual, like, escaped murderer. Yeah. So early on, I did actually summon Pate for the last giant fight, and because I summoned him, when we run into him over in Harvest Valley, over at the tower, he will give me his gear. Estus Shard, very nice. That is Sir Spears a Lot is a good title for a build. However, Sir Pokes-a-Lot is also viable. It's not worth it. I don't know if it's like throwing knives or something. I can't be bothered. Join me for more exciting lore. Boy there. Did Pate lock you up here?
Who are you? I thought you were that bastard for a moment. You've set me free. Now I can find him. The cheeky prick. He won't know what hit him. I am Creighton of Mirror. I travel from land to land to hone my blade. I've heard this land was full of danger. I joined forces with a man on the way, but he was no more than a bat. He took the first chance he had. I decided to... I can't believe...
No, the puns are good.
Careful of him. He wears this rather I've seen his... I'm sure he's a slip. Pate. And don't... I'll find it.
Alright, we've learned the fist bump. Alright, let's just make sure we got all the gear we need. We've got urine. We've got a sword. And we've got... Oh, shit, where did Creighton go? I turn around and look at him and I just see a couple of skeletons. Anyway. We press on. Alluring skulls. I wonder if the game was trying to tell us something. When did I get a petrified something? Ow. You guys are very stabby. Hey, we got another chunk. This is... Oh, Bo Burnham. Nice. Bows are actually quite good in this game. Alright. We don't need the cat ring. Here we go. Bone Zone Part 2. There is no mod. Creighton! Creighton! Ah. Creighton failed me. Yeah, this is just a free for all. We're not gonna resummon him. I think we don't need to. I think my mistake was killing all of the skeleton kings from the get-go. I already used the humanity, might as well. We do have 3 alluring skulls. We can make that work. Where is... There we go. I think this is the bone wheel guy. So just let the bone wheels do their bone wheeling. Oh no, he's not the bone wheel guy. That's fine. Effigy. Shield. Oh, so maybe it's whoever the third one is. Got them going for the urine. Toss another urine. We've got one urine left, so we're gonna wait for the bone wheel guys to show up. The DS1 bone wheels were the worst. Okay, that'll keep them occupied. We'll throw a alluring skull just... Alright. We did it. It, wasn't too bad. That is the power of the alluring skull. Want a big shout out to my boy Creighton. I apologize for any betrayal that'll happen later down the road. But I gotta stay true to my homie Pate, who gave me the large summon stone. Okay. Got our girl Chloanne.
Are you a traveller?
Yes.
I'm Chloanne, an Orstone trader. I travel. I never planned, but I don't. I must have just. But now that I'm. Oh, many of these. Oh, now I've extra.
Yes. Okay. The DS1 bone wheels were a menace. Okay, soul appeasal. Yeah, we'll take it.
I came here in search of the places. Don't just. These stones may look all the same. Some of them are used to smith weapons, and some of them are. None of the differences are easily spotted. Drangley, how is it that I? It's funny. I've searched every nook. Perhaps we'll. I suppose it's about time I moved.
You know, when I first did that boss fight and I saw the bone wheels come out, like the first time I played, I was like, nope, no. Alright, we've made it to Harvest Valley. So we're just gonna do a few things to wrap up. Got a Sublime Bone Dust.
Is that a shard you found? Here, let me see it. To see light, to see hope. However...
Yeah. Alright, let's do this. More attunement, more intelligence, more faith. It's like we can get 2 more. Alright, yeah, that's fine. So we got that taken care of. And we've got these, so we'll pop a few of those. Let's use one of these and just grab a crap load of healing crystals. And by a crap load, I mean 19. 19.
Thank you.
Yeah, you gotta be, when you're doing the no bonfire run, you gotta be strategic, because you can light them, you just can't sit at them. So when you light them, those are checkpoints. And when you do the, what's it called? The homeward bone, it doesn't count as resting at the bonfire, which you noticed. But, you know, before you even do a no bonfire, no death run, like especially if you're doing the no death portion of it, make sure that you have a backup. Now, I'm not suggesting that you do save scumming, but at least have a backup of when you started.
You, give it mood. Yes, you! Give us Silky!
And we had one of these.
Yeah, yeah. Too nice, too smooth. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, slab.
You. Yes, you.
Chunk, nice. Proud Knight, okay. Bleedstone and a blue burr. What even is a blue burr? Temporarily boosts magic defense. You know, there are things in this game that I never use, like the burrs and the trotches. I don't even know what they do. What did you do to your backup save? We have 2 chunks now. Let us pop another one of these, see if that's enough to level up the sword. Probably, 5k is a lot. No. Reinforce our fire sword. Alright, now we've got 2 +8 weapons. Soul level 300. Whew.
I'll be around.
I don't think I went that high up when I tried it. That is a lot.
You?
Okay, let us... And a knife. Yeah.
Thank you.
After that first death, it doesn't even matter. Alright, this is where we are right now. We're at level 86. I'm not investing a lot into strength or dexterity. We have the minimum we need to wield those weapons. We have decent amount of vigor, and we are slowly pumping intelligence, faith, and attunement. I'm not touching adaptability because I hate when everybody says level up your adaptability. That's just me being spiteful. But that's how it's going. Let's see, do we have any new drip? I guess this is kind of cute. And we can go with better pants. There we go. Yeah, restarting is probably... like, if you seriously just want to do no death, restarting is the easiest way to do it. Well, thanks for stopping by. Just a little wave. Made good progress. And, yeah, I'll pick this up next week. And, quick question, Suzanne. Are you on WUG's Discord? Because if you are, I can put the recipe somewhere in there. The cake recipe. Come on. Come on. Oh. She came by to visit. Alright, well, thanks for stopping by. Hope y'all have a nice Easter. And hope to see you again. You as well. You as well.